The Nigeria Citizen Welfare Project, under the leadership of Honorable Ezeneboro Agbodo, organized one-day summit in Abuja to discuss palliative development and social security, that every Nigerian should be beneficiary of palliative distribution.
Pouring money and nothing is coming out. Nigeria, we can be innovative in our own form of social security system. So I'm suggesting that government should have a Nigerian corporation, PLC, where every Nigerian will be a shareholder. If you are a shareholder in that kind of corporation, no matter how poor you are, at least you will know that you have something, there is something connecting you with the government. And this corporation is not for you, for the corporation to make money tomorrow, give you, and you begin to lavish it on marriage, second wife, two more wives and all. No, there are ways that I'm suggesting that this corporation should run, where even Nigeria will be shareholder to actually support issues of poverty alleviation and social security for all citizens. This kind of corporation, people make money, billions, corporations make billions of money and we invest. This kind of corporation, as they make the billions, they should also know that we are not just making the billions to multiply, we are making these billions to invest in the lives of Nigerians. So in that way, government can drop 1 trillion naira, and in the next 5 years, if 1 trillion naira become 10 trillion, so it's not government dropping 1 trillion every year. You know, so with that, yearly, just like every other company is done, you know, every shareholder is credited with something. You know, what you are credited with is not for you to withdraw it and go and spend it on frivolities. But as you build what you have, you know, yearly, with that, you can go to a bank to take loan, and the corporation can guarantee you. You have a good idea, bring to the corporation. You know, the corporation can guarantee you, because most people know they have good ideas, but they don't have the collateral to get these loans. So with that kind of corporation, that everybody is a shareholder, if you come out with a good idea and a bankable, you know, write a letter of cover for you based on your shareholdings and based on the fact that you are well known, and those things are given to you without collateral so that the country can move forward. So this is my suggestion. Well, it's just a suggestion. Where you have ideas moving around your brain, it's better you say them, because I ask myself a question. If you have ideas in your moving around your brain and you don't see them, and maybe that is what the country will need, you know, if you fall down tomorrow, that is the end of that idea. So we have to continue to move forward. So this was actually one of my key manifestos when I attempted to contest for the presidency in the National Rescue Movement Party. I'm not a politician, but I went into politics because of the love for my people. And I believe that putting two ideas together can help our people. Yes, I could not get the ticket for National Rescue Movement. I didn't even contest for the primary, because when I saw the issues at stake, I had to withdraw and went back to contest as the National Assembly candidate in Isoko Federal Constituency in Delta State. Why did I go back to National Assembly? I went to contest so that the same ideas that I had, I wanted to, you know, run as a president if I was elected. Well, the same ideas I can go to the National Assembly and through the National Assembly still push those ideas. But somehow, one way or the other, I couldn't make it to the National Assembly. And I said to myself, even if I didn't make it to the National Assembly, we must still continue to see how we can help our people. And that is why we are holding this summit today. You know, you must not become president before you can help your people. You must not become a senator before you can help your people. As a private citizens, you can have ideas, drive them, and let people benefit from them. And that is why we are here. So I still believe in the workability of this national company for all. And we're very glad to offer free consultancy services to the federal government in this regard. Our love for our country cannot die, because no matter how you travel all over the world, you see, you cannot be like like a country of your own. So we should do everything to move our country forward. Also, let me state here that with regards to the recently created Poverty Alleviation Trust Fund by the President Tinubu's administration under the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, the private sector and non-state actors should be closely engaged in the mobilization and management of such funds so that it doesn't go the way of other good programs in the past which should not see the light of the day due to different challenges. What I'm saying here is that I read in the newspapers that the President Tinubu's administration have approved a Poverty Alleviation Trust Fund that government will contribute 30% and other stakeholders will contribute. What I'm saying is that these monies should not be managed by government alone. Government should engage the private sector, people who are competent in such things. They can bring out the policies, even though people may not handle money, but let those people be the people to be doing the day-to-day recommendations for the government, so that these things, the poverty alleviation can actually be done. So that is one of my suggestions, and so that it doesn't go the way of other programs. The private sector carries a lot of core professionals who can help support government to manage such a fund. Such a fund, well managed by both government and private sector, will go a long way in poverty alleviation, reducing crime, vices, and guaranteeing a better social security for all. Once more, thank you for listening patiently, and welcome to the summit. God bless us all.
Speakers, Mr. Tufam Ilad Eta appealed to government to pay attention to exports rather than importation from other countries to produce our own goods.
Producing enough. We are not producing enough of what we consume. And so we spend a large chunk of our foreign reserve and foreign earnings on importation. Now, you remember that at the time, Nigeria used to have car battery manufacturing plants. Nigeria used to have car tire manufacturing plants. Nigeria was the envy of other countries with regards to the textile industry. Everything has collapsed. Now, government has to pay attention, and this is where the civil society organizations, labor unions, and all of that must put pressure on government to recalibrate our trade policy. We cannot allow Nigeria to be a dumping ground for China and hope that we are going to develop. It is not possible. When we have a policy that is patriotic and nationalistic and commits the resources of Nigeria to the production of the things that we need in Nigeria, we cannot, all of the lofty ideals, all the lofty hope, the lofty plans of Nigeria to the globe will come to naught if we cannot produce what we use in Nigeria. It is a shame that we wake up in the morning and from that morning till evening, 80 to 85% of the things that you use as an individual are all from China, including your toothpick. It is a shame that 2 years ago, Nigeria spent $600 million to import tomato puree, tomato the best. And tomato is wasted in Taraba. Tomato is wasted in most parts of Nigeria. And yet we spend $600 million in importation of tomato. We also spent $140 million in the importation of toothpick. Now, when you have this kind of pressure on the foreign exchange regime, you don't need to go into any dibia, to any church, to any mosque to know why the naira is costing 1,200 naira. So our trade policy must change. I happen to have schooled in India. And let me tell you what Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, said in 1947 as they got their independence. He said there is time for everything. There is time to play and there is time to work. This is time to work for our generation has been condemned to hard labor. He closed the Indian public to foreign goods from 1947. It was opened by Rajiv Gandhi in 1990, in the 90s, in the early 90s. What did they do? They went back to themselves. They even had to ask Coca-Cola to leave India when Coca-Cola refused to divulge the information as to how Coca-Cola was made to the Indians. The Indians asked Coca-Cola to leave. That is why you have soft drinks like Pali Soda, all of these Limca that are all from India today. That is how the Indians were able to develop those things. So we cannot develop except we produce. It is as simple as that. When at that time, if you were in India, you could go for a week or two without seeing any foreign car on Indian road. You will see cars that were 60-year-old, 70-year-old, they were still driving them. They were driving their Tata vehicles, their Padmini. Those were ambassadors. Those were the cars that they were driving, and they were content. The truth is that they were content. I was a footballer. I was a young footballer. So I wanted to play for my university team. I went to buy a football boot. So I went into a shop, a sports shop, and I asked for Adidas. The Indian man got offended. Say if I wanted Adidas or Puma, I should go to Germany. But that here they sell Rajesh shoes and Pandit shoes. So if you want to play in India and you need a football shoe to play in India, you must buy this one. So you see, there are so many people who benefit from going to China and fill our supermarkets and shops and stores and markets with goods from India. But the government has to take a stance.
It will not, my position is that you are spending that kind of huge money for 3 months. After that 3 months, what happens to the people? They are already used to, so instead of that, the palliative that we are even looking at, you see, now like the food, like the rice that they brought, those ones can support people for some time. But that 1.something trillion should be used for a sustainable project. For instance, government can say, okay, we are working with cooperatives. These monies we are releasing to Nigerian cooperatives, manufacturing cooperatives, small, so that by the time this money comes to them, this particular person can get some money from there, do his job. Then from there, another person can get, so that it can be sustainable. Because if you just give that money out like that, in 3 months it's gone. So after 3 months, what happens? So that is it. Then the palliative you are talking about, the palliative is necessary because people are suffering. It's necessary. But it is not sustainable. That is why I say 18 months. Why government puts their acts together? Because, for instance, the price of food now has gone up. One, most of our farmers cannot go to their farms. You see now? So now, and this one have come to add to it. So now that this problem is here, government can say, okay, in the next 18 months, next 24 months, we are going to be giving rice. We are going to be, whether they import the rice, whether it is from Nigeria, to Nigerian homes, no matter the people, whether it's 500,000, 1 million, every month. And this rice gets to people. Even though that people are not getting it, they will know that government cares for them. So by that, then the government can now begin to work out a program that in the next 24 months, there will be abundant food production. When the abundant food production, naturally the price will come down. Then the system can stabilize. Because what we are experiencing now, if nothing is done, Nigerians, a lot of Nigerian youth know that, we start going to crime. That is not what we are praying for.
So because this is a summit.
Well, every time that we sit down to engage ourselves in ways and means of developing our country, or ways and means of transmitting ideas to the government on development of Nigeria. It is always a very attractive moment to engage your time and your energies. So we're here to just engage on ideas on how to develop Nigeria, or how to, the policies, the decisions that must be taken for the development of Nigeria, and also to interrogate the usefulness of palliatives as a stopgap measure.
Okay, sir.
To farm Iliad Eta.
Okay, sir. Just a summary of. Okay, sir. Nice meeting.